I'm a lonely Goomba, stuck between two pipes. Well, guess I'll keep on gaming for the rest of my life. Hey up chaps, and chapettes. Well, it happened. Kirby sued me. It went to court and everything. Man, who knew Kirby had such good lawyers? Luckily, he settled the whole thing for a single slice of strawberry shortcake. What an idiot. But despite all that, and despite the fact Kirby probably hates me, I'm still gonna play Kirby's Dream Land 2, cause gosh darn it, I just can't stay mad at the little fella. He's just so gosh darn cute. So yeah, let's check out the sequel to the 20-minute masterpiece that is Kirby's Dream Land. Well, I guess technically Kirby's Adventure on the NES is the sequel, but well, I don't want to talk about Kirby's Adventure. I want to talk about Kirby's Dream Land 2, damn it. And I gotta say, the title screen is a bit of a downgrade, isn't it? Where's all the dancing Kirby's gone? Where's all the energy? You only got one Kirby this time, and it looks like he doesn't even want to be here. Look at him, he's trying to bleeding escape. I paid good money for this, what a rip-off. Anyways, the game itself, and well, what's changed since the first game? Or frankly, pretty much everything. First up, the game is way bigger, and as we all know, bigger is always better. So, instead of only having 5 stages, this game has 31, which is like... one moment please. 31 minus 5... of course, which is like 26 more stages. Another change is the fact Kirby now has copy abilities. So now, instead of sucking and spitting like some cheap $2 prostitute, you can swallow like a champ and get a special ability. Like spikes, spark, or even an umbrella. Hold up a minute, that's not really a special ability, is it? Kirby bro, you didn't have to kill someone just to get an umbrella, you know? They sell them in shops for like $5. Jesus. Look, I got one right here, and no one had to die. I mean, a few people did die, but that was completely unrelated to me getting this umbrella. Probably. But the big game-defining Kirby addition to this game are the animal buddies. Look at them. You got Rick the hamster, Cool the owl, and Kind the giraffe. And they each have their own special abilities, as you'd expect. Cool can fly super fast, Kind can use his long giraffe neck to reach high ledges, and Rick can walk and... well, Rick kinda sucks to be honest. I'm sorry Rick, but it's true. So, what's cool about these guys is you can combine your current abilities with them to get even more new and unique abilities. So, there's just a ton of combinations you can do. It's super fun experimenting and finding them all. And a lot of these are necessary to find all the secrets, but more on that later. Although, in true monkey paw fashion, there's a downside to all this. The music. See, each animal buddy has their own little theme tune, which is good, but that tune plays the entire time you're playing as one of them, which is bad. The problem is, especially if you're good at the game, you will pretty much be listening to the same 3 music tracks on loop over and over every level. Pretty much the entire game. It'll start to drive you insane. You'll go entire worlds without actually hearing the level's music. Heck, sometimes I just sacrifice my animal buddy just so I could actually listen to some different music for once. It's such a strange issue, but it's actually a pretty big problem. It's like that fighting music in Sonic Unleashed. You know the one. The game has amazing music, but 90% of it is just that crappy werehog fighting tune over and over. Yeah, it's basically that, but Sonic is now a fat hamster. So anyways, since the game is way bigger than the first one, I can't really cover every single stage like before. So I'll just give a brief overview of each world. Or well, level as the game confusingly calls them. Level 1 consists of 3 stages, and it's basically green greens. You know, nice grassy stages, there's very easy stuff, and Wispy Woods is back. And look at that. It's nice to see someone take the pandemic seriously for a change. But Kirby ain't having none of it. He rips that bastard right off. Kirby the Anti-Masker. I never saw it coming. World 2 is Big Forest, the first world to introduce Cool the Owl, who I'd argue is the most overpowered of the animal buddies. You can pretty much just fly over everything in record time. time. And if you get the cutter ability, well, you're basically a force of nature. Nothing can stop you. So, the boss here is basically just a variation of Lolo and Lala from the first game. Only they're boars now, and instead of spitting blocks back at them, you eat the babies and spit them into their face. Which is pretty fucked up, but oddly effective. On to level 3, Ripple Field. And it's here we're introduced to Kine the giraffe. But for some reason which I can't quite figure out, he can swim super fast and even access secret areas. So say if you combine the spark ability with him, he can make a light bulb which lights up dark rooms to solve puzzles and stuff. How cool is that? Basically, Kine is completely terrible and useless outside of water. But you've got to admit, that light bulb though, is pretty cool. So, the boss here is a giant fish. It kinda reminds me of that boss from Link's Awakening though, only it dies in 5 seconds and puts up next to no challenge. Actually, thinking about it, that's pretty much exactly like the Link's Awakening boss. My bad. Level 4 then is ICEBERG. Wait, is that it? Just iceberg. It's not like magical iceberg or blue iceberg. It's just nothing. Wow. Oh, okay, I see how it is. It's at this point that it feels like we're past the tutorial type levels. I mean, we got more stages per world and things are getting a bit trickier. You even got these buggies that kill your animal buddies in one hit. And man, they want them dead. They don't give up. Although really, they're just doing you a solid as you'll finally be able to hear some different music for once. Cheers for that, mate. No problem, Goomba. Anytime. So, the boss here is a big dinosaur thing, which, I mean, there's a running trend here, but the bosses are super easy and die instantly. It's like, why even bother programming all these cool boss patterns if they just die before they get to do anything? I beat this boss in 15 seconds. No joke, it's becoming a bit of a problem. Level 5 then, and it's Red Canyon, or should I say, Grey Canyon, cause it's, grey. Wait a minute, I made that joke last time. The thing is though, despite each world having an underlying theme, there's a good mixture of level themes too. You got rocky mountains, forests, whatever this is, underwater stages, and even a level where you blow up the Death Star. All in a single world. It's good stuff. The boss then, and it's the sun and moon. I mean, everyone knows the sun's evil, but the moon too? Jesus, is nothing sacred anymore? Are there any other evil things I should know about? Perhaps this bush is secretly evil, or this pipe, or this cloud. That's right, I'm onto you, cloud. I knew it! The boss itself, and it's the best boss by far up to this point, mostly because it counters my issues with the other bosses. The attacks require quite a bit of effort to dodge, and the bosses themselves are kinda hard to hit, so they don't die in 2 seconds. It's a really good boss, even if it is mostly the same as the one from Kirby's Adventure, but still, it's the thought that counts. On to level 6, Cloudy Park. This level has 6 stages, and as you'd expect, it incorporates clouds into a lot of the level design. And the boss here is a one-eyed monster that bulges out from the clouds. Seriously though, what is that? It's freaking me out. Oh, it's Krakow. What's all that about? Well, is he shy or something? It's an alright boss, but it's pretty much just a Krakow boss, you know. There's not really much to say. And just like that, we're on to the final world. It's been a long journey, but we've made it to the Dark Castle. Great, of course it's dark. It couldn't be Magic or Rainbow Castle now, could it? And holy crap, there's a lot of stages here. Granted, they're quite short, but it's a pretty cool final world for building up the suspense of the final showdown. It's like the Kirby equivalent of Dr. Wily's castle. You got a ton of mini boss fights, annoying auto-scrolling sections, dramatic music. It's pretty tense. And we make it to the top. The music stops. It's silence. You fly up to the top, and DDD is there. Sleeping? Bro, talk about rude. I just struggled my ass to get here, and you can't even be bothered to be awake. I mean, it's kinda just awkward now. It feels like I've come at a bad time. Now, I'll come back next week, okay, if that's a better time for you. The fight itself, though, and it's a more buffed up version of the fight from Dreamland 1. It's actually quite a bit harder, and eventually, DDD wakes up, and he's pissed. He lobs his hammer at you, and there's steam coming from his head. That's how you know he's mad. I mean, it's pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie. But I did it. And you get a little ending scene, and it shows you other characters, and it's super lame. There isn't even an ending or anything. He's just walking back in the rain. Heck, I don't even know what the story was. You just beat the shit out of a sleeping DDD and then called it a day. Kirby don't ask questions. He just gets shit done. Hold up. Who the fuck is this bugger? Wait, the end? With a question mark? Oh, you know what that means, right? It ain't over yet. Because unlike the first game, this game has secrets. Oh yes, for you see, each world has a super hidden rainbow drop. They're usually hidden in a way in which you'll need a certain ability to reach them. Some are pretty easy, but some of them, oh dear lord. Like this one, you need to keep your fire ability with kind whilst destroying these blocks. Only your fire ability can't reach the blocks. The only way to do it is to spit out your ability, eat up the blocks as quickly as possible, and then regain your fire ability before it disappears. It almost feels like you're breaking the game or something, but it's literally the only way to do it, I swear. I don't think any other Kirby game has had puzzles like this. Some of them are so elaborate, with multiple bosses, abilities and animal buddies needed just to get one bleeding rainbow drop. They're basically entire stages themselves. It's good stuff though, and it's where the real challenge of the game comes from. So, we get all the rainbow drops, beat up King DDD again, but instead of a crappy ending, all the rainbow drops combine into a kick-ass giant sword. And then, it turns out, DDD was possessed all along by the greatest villain of them all. Exclamation mark, question mark. And holy crap, I ain't kidding. I think this might be one of the hardest bosses in any Kirby game ever. I truly think it is. It might not seem so bad at first. I mean, you're slashing away, taking a few hits, but nothing too major. It's close, and I'm almost dead, but I reckon I can do this. And blammo! But wait, that's not it. There's a second form, like all good final bosses. And this is where things get crazy. His attacks are erratic, his health is endless, and worst of all, if you die, you gotta do the whole bleeding thing again. I mean, look at this shit. He's shooting lasers all over the place. He's flying into you. Pretty sure I heard him say a few slayers earlier too. Yep, he's evil alright. That second form is so unforgiving, you'll basically need to get through the first part without taking any damage at all to stand a chance. Like, I ain't even kidding. I'm not joking here. This boss took me longer than the entirety of Dreamland 1 to beat. It's that tough, but eventually you'll get the patting down and feel kinda dumb for having such a hard time in a Kirby game, and you'll win and get to enjoy the true ending. With a cool animated cutscene this time. Now this is what you call an ending. Kirby is falling down with the sword, and the credits play as Kirby soars through the sky back to Dreamland. And it ends with Kirby making a giant rainbow with the magical sword, which will never be seen again. Well, I presume it's a rainbow considering there's no colour, but could be a big streak of brown shit for all I know, but I take Kirby's word for it. Now, there's still a few things left to do for the sad kids out there. There's a few minigames, and there's a boss rush mode to do, which does get you a slightly different ending. But other than that, that's Kirby's Dreamland 2. I made a lot of jokes and shit here, but let's be real for a moment. This game's fucking amazing. If you consider the jump between Dreamland 1 and Dreamland 2, it's insane. Yeah, I know Kirby's Adventure can take a lot of the credit, but still, in terms of a direct sequel, this has got to be one of the best sequels of all time. There's so much more levels, bosses, secrets. It's crazy to think this is still a Game Boy game. It's up there with some of the best games on the system. Talking about great games, it's time I talk about this week's sponsor, the best game ever made in the history of the world. Raid Shadow And the patron of the week is Blue Dragon Kaiser, which I'm probably saying wrong, who has been a patron for 7 years and is only now just patron of the week after all this time. Talk about dedication. This is your moment, Blue Dragon Kaiser. Enjoy it. And hopefully I didn't say your name wrong.